We are back. Toby Fox says it's math and geometry. Those are stable shapes for construction and such, I think. I can't refute that. I don't know enough about construction, geometry, or math to say otherwise. But, possible. What's this one? Can I scan this one? Let me scan this one. Won't let me scan this one. We gotta get in there first. Scan that one. Oop, I gotta get in there first.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
More eclipse.
Careful now.
Oh, okay, I can't shoot through there. Of course I can. Well, let's tag the ones I can see. Delete. Again, I'm a little annoyed at the need to put enemies in here because, like, they don't need to have enemies in here. It doesn't make logical sense for them to even be in here. Especially since the routes in here should be visible to you now, but they aren't. My guess is they like, oh, they got in through the vents. And it's like, okay, well, why would they immediately know that those are openings to get in from, right? I'd be perfectly fine if this was just a big lore dump area.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective
Oh,
memory
Apollo.
of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
That was what Apollo was. So, yeah. Apollo update. From Samina Ebaji to Elizabeth Sobek, Apollo update. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, the media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset. With attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high-level engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia personae. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Peace be with you, Samina. Oh, what's this one? Encapsulated DNA. From Samina Abaji to Elizabeth Sobek, encapsulated DNA. And the winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum, even that eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution was one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300 to 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projected for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which it will embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the powered systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, peace be with you, Samina. Okay. Well, I guess we can jump down here. We go in there? We cannot go into Apollo. Not yet, anyway.
What did the ancients do?
I probably don't need to use all my arrows yet. Could probably stand to this way I don't risk going out and getting caught.
Not alone.
What was that? That was pathetic. I love stupid death rattles.
I see something.
That done? Hang on. He'll probably turn around as I get close to him.
Here we
Yeah.
are.
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
In what
Hey.
should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
They always turn around like right at the last second. Inevitable. Alright, let's see if we can find some more data points to get some more information about this. They die from that fall. He landed weird on his neck, okay? That's the only explanation. His neck broke his fall, and his neck. Why is it the good ones? The one with the heavy cool weapons die last. I mean, technically, I did kill one of the the one with the heavy. Well, actually, I don't think he had a heavy weapon. He was just elite. Never mind. You're right. I think it's just because I'm bad, and that's just the one I targeted last. So to be fair, he was up here, and I couldn't really get up here. Ah, there is a. Alright, this is from Hera's testimonial.
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
Odd. Oh wait, I have 2 skill points. There you go. Now they'll stay with me longer. Time for the Bannook Ice Hunter outfit. Oops. I think that was the only one in here. Might be one over there, actually. Can I climb up there? There does seem to be another level here, but I don't think I can get up there from here. Actually, I think that's how I came in. Never mind. Another door over here. There it is. Alright, this symbol up here is Hades, I think. But perhaps this will tell us what Hades was.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe
Travis.
protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, spinning top that won't stop wobbling. And what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal.
Thanks,
So
Travis.
welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a pharaoh titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
He really doesn't like her thinking out loud. Anyway, what difficulty am I playing on? I'm just playing on normal. For the purpose of my stream, I focus on story, so I don't really do anything harder than that usually. And I don't really play on easy that often. So we're just playing on normal. Noise complaints. From Travis Tate to Elizabeth Sobeck. Noise complaints. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore straight up lying. And you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dads. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Sitarum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave, and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab. Shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classic music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no batchcore, you'll see. Or hear, rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet of a gothic deathfish. Hallelujah! As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal? Might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool, Trav. Ah yes, Japanese gore grind, my favorite. Woo-ah! Alright, Hades protocol. Kate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out Goldilocks' solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority, but if it ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business, so had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky! I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from the command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair, work its magic. Those blues are coming on right now. I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong. Guess it's time to sleep in bed. I'll be back to it tomorrow. Alligators. So now you have a better idea of what Hades was meant for. Archive abuse. From Samina Abaji to Travis Tate, CC Elizabeth Sobeck, archive abuse. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo archive submission number 000023876. Dash, your 666 submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, reply inappropriate materials, you choose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 accounts. 1, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks to their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of Making a Millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme, perhaps, but art. 2, for clarifying a concept that has been long ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied by Judge Potter's famous utterance, I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all your future submissions sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you have spent preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work? We have a world to save after all. Or the rest of us do anyway. Dr. Samani Abaji. Damn. Get wrecked, Travis.
Looks like the only way onwards.
So as you can see, this whole stream today is just going to be us exploring this facility.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Okay. FZ Chambers from Patrick Bouchard-Klein. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They're a revelation. Astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved. Nutritional delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand, but if the rest of FC's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of these chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours and get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PBK. So Far Zenith, if you didn't get it, is another company that they worked with to get everything up and going, and that existed around the time of, well, all of this. Cradle sealed. Patrick Bouchard-Klein to Elizabeth Sobek, subject cradle sealed. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advanced across Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is a margin of refinement in future cradle populations. In addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia 02 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate a propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. So, I don't know if you can tell, Vector, but it doesn't sound like they cloned anyone here. It sounds like they had donations, at least to me. Cradle Servitor Personae. To Elizabeth Sobek. Development of artificial personae for cradle servitors. Nurturer, disciplinarian, healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.04 or 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning an entrenched feedback loops between disciplinary and healer personae. I have also attached reports from an incident where a servitor running the monitor persona intervened on a disciplinary servitor's behavior, a parental argument, if you will. Amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings, and then it is corrupted. So what it sounds like is that they took basically they took zygotes and froze them, kind of like a massive sperm bank, but in the event where the eggs are already fertilized. So basically, parents donated their fertilized eggs to the bank, in a way.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
So we got a little bit more information potentially on Duck here, it looks like. Okay, we're good. There we go. Okay. Start here.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinate morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek,
Something.
as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet...
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
Interesting. You have to see Elizabeth Sobek talking to
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Interpreted that as Gaia working as intended. Can't have AI restore life on Earth when it can potentially conclude humans with a problem and decide it should just cancel everything. Yeah. That's a fair assessment. Okay. we got a little more information, but again, it is once again break time. Time is flying. We'll be right back, guys.